4 years ago, I started my first dropshipping brand as a pimply faced teenager, and after testing hundreds of products and scaling brands past 6 figures, I am going to teach you step by step how to start your own dropshipping business and launch it in the next few hours as a complete beginner. Oh, and if you stick to the end, you'll see the sales results from the store we build in this video. Now, the first step to a winning dropshipping brand is figuring out what product you're gonna sell. And after writing a 50-page guide on product research, you guys can comment down below to get this, but there are 8 main factors I look for in every winning product. The first one is a wow factor. When you see the product that you wanna sell, you should instantly be captivated by it. It should have some sort of unique characteristic where you're like, damn, that's pretty crazy. For instance, with the LED projectors, it can transform your room and create a whole new vibe in seconds. Wow factor can also be an improvement or a slightly different version of a winning product. For instance, I sold swimming resistance bands after seeing how well normal resistance bands were doing during the quarantine, and I was able to scale that to $3,000 a day just because it was an already proven concept. The next most important thing is that the product has to solve a problem, whether that's improving someone's confidence, saving them time, saving them money. The product needs to have a purpose because people don't buy products, they buy solutions. For instance, these shoe lifts, as you can see right here, help our short kings become more confident in themselves, giving them an extra boost of height that will allow them to get the woman of their dreams, or at least that's how we market them. Now, if your product doesn't solve a problem, that doesn't mean it won't be a winner. In fact, there's lots of products that create a desire, like clothing, like jewelry, like watches. So you have to make sure you have good clips or good photos that demonstrate the lifestyle and the change that will happen once you buy that product. And then the final 2 things I look for is that the product has a high perceived margin. You got to be able to sell that bad boy and flip it for at least $20 more than the supplier cost. And I at least look for 3x the supplier cost as well. So if you're selling phone cases, I got bad news for you. You're probably going to go broke because the margins just aren't there. So if you're trying to advertise stuff that's cheap, you really don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to your margin and profitability. And then the final thing we look for is validation, whether that means that the ad that you found the product has a lot of likes, a lot of shares, or when you look for suppliers of that product that you want to sell, that they have tons of orders and tons of validation that people actually want the product. Now, when it comes to product research tools, I use PiPi ads and AdSpy. Those are the best tools out there. They have a database of ads on Facebook and TikTok so that you can see all of the dropshippers out there and find some new products while they're hot. But I ain't gonna lie, the barrier to entry is pretty high because both those tools retail for $400 a month. Ugh. Yikes. But if you're on more of a budget, I highly recommend DropPoint. It's only $5 a month. And when we go into this tool, there's 2 filters I really like. The first one being the winning advertisement filter. This shows you all the ads that are absolutely popping off right now. And a lot of times you can see some great dropshipping products. Like right here, I was able to find this 4-leaf clover necklace. It looks absolutely beautiful. When we go to the website, their offer isn't the greatest. This website honestly is crap, but it's a super eye-catching product because as you can see, it creates 2 different designs where if you open it up, it has 4 hearts or it can do the 4-leaf clover. So this is a great item for couples, for guys that are buying gifts for their girlfriends. So that solves a problem for them. And it just has that wow factor with how it opens and just the dazzling design. Plus, I can guarantee that costs $2 on AliExpress and you can sell it for at least that $20 margin. Now, when it comes to the settings for the live advertisement filter, I do English-speaking countries last seen ads so I can see those piping hot products. Scrolling on down, we do shop now for the button. You can mix this up and have all button types, ad seen at any time, and then we scroll down. I like to at least have 100,000 views. Now, after I did that, I did find this really cool back stretcher. These things sell like absolute hotcakes because they solve a huge problem. They got great perceived margin. They got the transformation effect that people are looking for because when you got back pain, man, you will try literally anything to solve it. So look at these benefits. Results in 2 weeks, correct your posture. I mean, who wouldn't want to try that out? Looking at the branding, they got a great logo. The color scheme is consistent, which is great. They got some good graphics. I mean, this is a store that you definitely want to take some inspiration from. I absolutely love the way that they lay this all out. Now, my favorite free way of doing product research is easily going onto TikTok, and yes, you need to download it. And if you're not, then you're just sleeping behind the competition because this is not just an app for 12-year-olds and Charlie D'Amelio to do the renegade. It's actually an amazing product research tool. So if you go into the search bar just like this and you look up a common hashtag like Amazon finds, Amazon Best Buys, you will find a ton of these Amazon products, which are all technically dropshipping products that you can sell on your store. And the reason why this is great is because there's people that do series around these products. They constantly review new products and give you games. So as you can see right here, we got this cool little laptop stand that's good for working in bed. We got this lamp that also is a charger. I mean, geez Louise, what else do you need? So again, guys, you can go to these accounts and they have hundreds of products that you can go through, find the supplier and sell for your own brands. Like right here, this digital alarm clock, I've seen this sell incredibly well. The sunset lamp is $1 million product, and these are all being shown to you for free on TikTok. If you get in at the right time and you see these videos before everyone else, you will make a lot of money. Now, if you got a little bit of extra money to invest, I would recommend AdSpy. This is the database of all the best Facebook ads out there. So my personal filters are at least 1,000 likes, ads that have been created recently in the last month, country being advertised to the United States, English, video, Shopify, shop now. And the first product I'm seeing when we do these filters is these cozy thigh-high socks. This is a great product for women. It's got a lot of impulse there. So when we scroll down on AdSpy, when you click on the ad, it shows you the amount of engagement. That is a decent amount of shares. Anything with more than 1,000 likes is great. Looking at their actual website, they're selling these for $27. These cost $5 max. So boom, you got the perceived value. Does it solve a problem? Not really. But does it create a desire? 100%. Impulse buyers, when they see this, they instantly want that for their own wardrobe. They can picture themselves wearing it because these photos are really amazing. Now, if you have $250 a month that you can invest into your product research tools, I highly recommend PiPi ads. It's from China. It's great. It's fantastic. It's the best product research tool in the game. Okay, I'm sorry if you cringed at that impression. I'm trying to work on it, but when it comes to PiPi ads, you can go to TikTok ad search, and I use the dropship filter 100% of the time. So if we scroll on down here, you can see the engagement on these ads. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. Looks like a great romantic thing for couples. This definitely has a high perceived value because it's customized. I'm guessing they upload a photo or something like that, and that's how it came out. Let me scroll down. Yeah, so it looks exactly like our photo. Yeah, so they have a photo here. It's customized, it's personalized. It's a very cool decorative item. There's a lot of things it checks off the box. It definitely has the wow factor because it's you as a lamp. And then at the bottom of this first page, we got some crease protectors. So I know a lot of shoe junkies that spend a lot of money on shoes, and they would pay a lot of money for their shoes never to crease again. That is a great problem solver. Is it the highest perceived margin? This little piece of plastic right here, I could really doubt it. I would say at max, you can maybe sell this for $12, but if you have a good bundle deal, people can definitely buy more than one of these for all their different shoes. So I'm gonna do a bit of research on PiPi ads and see if we can find a great product to build our brand around. Alrighty, so I'm down to 2 products. They're both geared towards women. They improve confidence, they got the perceived margin, and they got a proven sales track record. So the first product I'm gonna show you is the ponytail beanie. Now, as you can see, it does create a desire. When you see these cute girls wearing it, they look so stylish, they look fly. It solves a problem because it can keep you warm and stylish at the same time. I mean, god dang, what else do you need from a clothing item? And then the challenger, we got the Glam watch strap, the Apple Watch strap. It looks really cool. I actually would probably buy this for myself if I had an Apple Watch, but I'm broke as shit from all these NFT projects I've invested in. Now, does it solve a problem? In a way, it does, because a lot of Apple Watches are really boring. They're basic. People want to upgrade the style a little bit because smartwatches are just notorious for being ugly. What if you can turn this ugly smartwatch into a beautiful watch that can compete with Rolex just by adding this $20 or $30 watch strap? I ain't gonna lie, I like the sound of that. I think we're gonna go with the watch strap. Now, I understand that the stigma of AliExpress is that there's long shipping times, and it's true in a lot of cases. But when you're testing products, you are just trying to figure out, do they work? And if they do work, awesome. You can contact a bunch of different suppliers and get direct lines from China to the United States in a couple of days with UniExpress. But when you're testing products, you can't do that. You just need to see if it works. So there's no need to go through the hassle of finding this private supplier when you haven't made any sales. And would you look at that? Your boy was able to find some USPS shipping on AliExpress, so we can ship this out in 1 to 2 weeks immediately for only $10. Now, with most of the products that I sell, I do source them on CJ because they give you some really fast shipping lines, even if you have no orders whatsoever, which is great for you. So always cross-check with CJ. So if you can't find USPS shipping on AliExpress, hop on here, look for your product. Now, in this case, I'm having a little bit of trouble finding the Apple Watch strap. So let's say I'm selling this quartz watch. So I click onto the product page. This is what we're seeing here. We're gonna click on this black watch design. And when we go down to shipping method to the United States, you can see YTUS, which is UniExpress, 8 to 20 days. So 1 week to 2 week shipping times, even if you have no orders at all. So again, this is a great resource if you're looking for the best supplier. Now that we have an amazing product, it's time to decide what type of store do we actually want to start, because you can start a general store, a niche store, or a one product store, and they all have their own unique benefits. With a general store, you can test as many products as possible, but the conversion rate's going to be the lowest because you can't really brand a product when you have this generic shop viral product store. Now with the niche store, it's sort of the best of both worlds, where you can test a variety of different products in a niche. So So if you do make the horrible mistake of starting a phone case brand, then yes, you can test a bunch of different phone cases. But the one drawback is that if there's a winning dropshipping product that's not in the phone case niche, you can't sell it. And then there's one product brands that are the most branded, they have the highest conversion rate and the highest chance of the product becoming a winner. So that's what I'm gonna do today, and that's what I like to do at my agency whenever we're testing products for clients. Now, the real only drawback of the one product store is that if that product is not a winner, you do have to start from scratch. So if you're lazy and you don't want to build a new website for each product, then I would not recommend doing that approach. The only reason why I personally do it is because I have a team that builds websites and builds descriptions. So whenever we test a new product after one fails, we can set up a whole new brand in only a few hours, compared to if you do it by yourself, it might take a couple of days to write a description, create ads, create a whole new website, logo, domain. It's up to you. All these methods do work, but for this experiment, we are gonna do a one product store. So now that you picked your store, you need to come up with a catchy business name. So I always use businessnamegenerator.com or Namelix, and with these tools, you can look up specific keywords and they'll give you a giant culmination and conglomerate of all these different words that are just piled together so that you can eventually find your business name. Now, if you're doing a general store, a lot of these brands have store, shop, haven, or heaven as one of the keywords in the business name. So that might be what you wanna look up. Now, for me, I feel like strap is going to be the main word because it's a watch strap. So I'm going to go into business name generator and also on Namelix, look this up and see what we can come up with. So right here, we're going to do medium names. For name style, I typically will do brandable names. So let's see what we can find. So when we scroll on down, you're going to get a lot of different words that you can plug and play with that second word you have. So I see the word glam, and I think GlamStrap, I mean, geez Louise, that sounds like $1 million brand. And it really goes with the theme of our product. It's glamorous, it's luxurious. Lux Strap could have been another idea. But when I looked up GlamStrap, it wasn't available with the .com. So you can try different abbreviations or prefixes. So you can try something like try GlamStrap, my GlamStrap, the GlamStrap, original GlamStrap. So whatever you have for your name, try those prefixes and see if they're available. Alrighty, visionaries. Now, the next step of creating your $1 billion brand, and that is with a B, is creating an iconic logo like an Apple, like a Nike. And the way you can do that is hopping onto Canva real quick, and in a few minutes you can craft your $1 billion logo by creating an 800 by 200 sized image. Now, the reason why we do this is because when you try the other formats on Shopify, when you upload your logo, it doesn't look very good. Now, when we're getting logo inspiration, I like to see our competitors, and they have this cool little curly, rounded logo design. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to text. I'm gonna click a heading, and then we're gonna type the name of our brand. So for us, it's gonna be the GlamStrap. Now, when it comes to color scheme, my darlings, what you wanna do is do black, white, and then a third alternative color. Now, this can be up to you. In fact, in a lot of cases, you can just use black and white. But I feel like for our brand, what will communicate the vision, the glamorous, luxurious, lavish feel of a GlamStrap is using a nice gold font. So we might play around a little bit with this, see what works the best. But after we do that, then we're gonna click onto fonts. And with Canva, you can search by different categories. So I believe what we're gonna do is go to the rounded section. Why, yes. We played around, we have some very similar comps. I do like a lot of these, but the one that I found out the most that I like is called Great Vibes. And again, guys, you can go through these different categories, choose each one of them, and I really do believe this embodies our $1 billion GlamStrap. But I feel like there's something missing. Every great logo has a symbol. Nike has the swoosh. Apple has the bitten apple. We need something that people can really identify with. And I believe for our brand, that is the sparkle. Now, when we add the sparkle, we can add it to the right, we could add it to the left. I feel like right above the word strap is the most strapping way we can add this amazing symbol. And just like that, we have our logo, and this can be used as a checkout logo as well. Now let's hop into Shopify and do everyone's favorite part, starting the free trial. Oh, when you're filling out this information, just put in your normal email address, your password, your store name here. It honestly doesn't matter. You can type gobbledygook because that's not the actual name that's gonna appear for your store. So put in all this information and then we'll get to the next step. Now, Shopify is gonna pester you with this little form that you can easily skip. So just do that and then put in your address. Now, I would recommend you get a US virtual address if you live internationally because you get some great benefits and it allows you to access the TikTok US accounts as well. So I recommend go to ipostal.com if you don't already have a US address, put that in here and then continue to the next step. Oh, do you smell that? That's the smell of beautiful, beautiful potential. Now that you have your new store, we need to go to the apps section and download the most common app known as Oberlo. And this is going to be what easily allows you to import your product from AliExpress onto your store. Now there's two ways to import a product from AliExpress onto Oberlo. The first way is that if you go onto the product page, a lot of times in the bottom right corner, you'll see this add to Oberlo icon. So if you click on it, it automatically takes it to Oberlo. But if you don't see that icon, which is pretty common, you can copy the URL right here. You can click on add products by URL, paste that, add product, and then boom shakalaka, your product appears. Now I'm gonna copy a trademark symbol real quick, and then we're gonna hop on back here when we are naming our product. So we're gonna do Glam Watch. We're gonna have that trademark, and again, you can add a little pseudo product title in a way where you say stainless steel Apple watch strap. It could be something like this. Nothing too crazy. I personally don't even do that anymore, so I'm just gonna keep it as simple as that. Now, when it comes to picking the variants, this is very, very important. For us, we aren't gonna do anything that says ships from China. So we're just gonna click out of this real quick like that. So we got all our variants right here for the United States, which is great. So we'll import those. We can see we got all these cool images. I absolutely love this one right here. It's super clean and crisp. So when we scroll on down, we got one where it's on a book. We got the white background ones. You definitely wanna have a white background version of each product that you're selling. Now, if you're not satisfied with the images from this supplier, then I highly recommend go back onto AliExpress, find different suppliers for your product because you will find them, and you will be able to source more images that you can play around with and then just choose the ones that are the best. And another place you can go to find some more photos is Alibaba as well. So I looked up my product, and as you can see, we got some crispy, clear images. Oh my goodness, those are 24K. And then when we go right here, we got this white background with all the different products and all the different colors. So that is definitely an image I want to put onto my store. Now, one slight problem you may have with these images is that when you download them, they come as a WebP file, which is completely useless. And I don't understand why these exist. But if you download this as a WebP file, what you can do is go to easygift.com, go to the WebP section, then WebP to JPG, then upload whatever file that you have that is a WebP file, and then it instantly will convert it to a JPG file that you can add to your store very easily. Now, the final thing that we need to do, partner, is that we need to have a fair price for our customers. Now, a lot of people tend to overcharge, and they frankly don't even know how to price their products. So let me show you the most proven way of doing it. You're gonna go and hop onto Google and look up the generic item for whatever product you're selling. Then hop on over to shopping and see the different Google ads for your product. And then when you have all these, you'll be able to get a good average price. You never want to come up with your own price for your product because a lot of times you have no idea what the hell you're doing. So look at what the market deems as a fair price. So I'm seeing 30, I'm seeing 15, I'm seeing 40, all these different prices for this product. And really what you want to do is get the average price. So I feel like the average would be around $25 to $29 after seeing all these, and then you can set the price for that. So now that we know that 24 to 29 seems to be a good range, I think I'm just gonna set this at $27.99, and you can do that by clicking change all, and that will be what the price is. Now, when you're doing your price research and you realize, oh my God, I can't actually get a $20 margin, like let's say for instance, the Apple Watch straps were all for $10, $15. Then you probably shouldn't be selling that product. In a lot of cases, you will get this far and then you realize, oh crap, there's really no margin here. Now, if you're a complete noob, what you're gonna do is you're gonna overprice your product and you're gonna force a margin. And then when you try to sell the product, it's not gonna work at all because you're overpricing it to the max. So realize when you're doing your research, if the price isn't there, do not try to force a margin. That is a key mistake to lose a lot of money. You have to be fair with yourself and honest. If the price that is fair online is a certain price that doesn't match your criteria of $20 margin and 3x the supplier cost, then you probably shouldn't be selling that product. Now, keep in mind when you're dropshipping, you need to have some urgency. You need to have a reason for people to shop today. Otherwise, they're just gonna be window shopping. They'll add to cart, they'll click your link, but they're not gonna buy your item. So a lot of times the way that dropshippers will convince and give urgency to their buyers is by having a sale or having limited supply available. So for me, I usually will have a sale that's between 40 to 70% off. Now, the way you can calculate that compare at price is there's an amazing tool called Omni Calculator. So if I wanted to do 40% off and my price is $27.99, as you can see right here, I just put my price in the You Pay section. I put 40% off as the discount, and then boom, original price is gonna be $46.99. Now, if I wanted to do, let's say 60% off, boom, it's gonna be $69.99. Now, for me, I feel like that's a little too rich to try to convince people, yeah, this is a $70 product. So I feel like 40% off makes a lot of sense. In fact, I might even do a little more and say that the compare price is $49.99. So we just go here, change all compare at prices to $49.99, and then boom, we're ready to go. We're gonna import this to the store, and then we'll continue our customizations. Alrighty, so we got our product added, and now we have to choose a beautiful theme. Now, when it comes to Shopify, I recommend as a beginner just to choose one of the free themes. There are plenty of great ones out there from Brooklyn, which is my favorite, but recently they've actually come out with some fire. Shopify has been adding some new themes like Sense, which I'll preview for you right now, and you can see if this is right for you, because at the end of the day, everyone has their own personal preference, but I think just the different color gradients, the collections, I mean, everything here looks super professional. And I would say the main thing you're looking for in a theme is that it has an attractive product page, because you have to keep in mind you're sending all of your traffic to that product page. So if the template on that theme doesn't look good, you should not be using it. Alrighty everyone, so now we have to get serious, which is why my tone has totally shifted, because when it comes to dropshipping, you are competing with thousands of people for every single product. They're all selling the same thing as you. So how do you differentiate yourself from the rest of the competition? The 4 main things that you can do to beat your competition is having a better description, having better ads, having better branding, and having a better website than your competitors. Now, the first way we can get a competitive edge is that description. And I understand we all are Gary Vee. We failed our English classes. We don't like writing papers. I mean, what are we, back in middle school? I got to write descriptions now. But here's the thing. You have to find an edge. And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is knowing your customer better than your competitors, because a lot of times your competitors don't do market research. So if you do the actual work in reading what your customers are saying and understanding what benefits matter to them, then you can make a sizable difference in your results. So I start every description with a blank document. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And when I first start my research, I need to get inspiration. I cannot come up with words and ideas on my own. I have to go into Amazon, and the first thing I'll do is I look up similar products like all of these right here. I got all these different listings, and what I'll do is I'll scroll down to the reviews, and then from here, I'm just reading what the main benefits, the main problems, and the main reasons why my customers are buying these products. So when we scroll down here, this is a great tab of information. This 1-star review talked about how this alternative watch strap actually gave them an allergic reaction. I mean, who the hell wants that? So we can write that down as a main problem that we need to address in our description, that cheaper watch bands cause allergic reactions because they use bad materials. So we can talk about how we use high quality materials that don't irritate your skin. Then the review under that one actually highlights one of the main benefits. So many compliments on this band. That is a key reason why someone would want to buy this, so that they can get validation from other people. So getting compliments from your friends and family. I understand I spelled compliments like a freaking kindergartner out here, but yeah, that's a great review right there. Now over here, it looks super expensive. It's perfect for wearing to the work, gym, at home. That's great, because when you're writing your descriptions, you should be telling people the different scenarios and the different ways they can use your product in the real world. So typically what I'll do is I'll copy over the best reviews, I'll go back into my document, and I'll paste them right here so that when I'm writing my description, I have all the inspiration I need. But there is another place where we can look for some great ideas, and that's obviously by studying other product descriptions. So for my competitor, let's see if there's any good lines here. Crafted from stainless steel. Yeah, that's sort of boring. This watch elevates and gives a luxurious look and feel to your Apple Watch. That's pretty good. I definitely want to copy that on over. And usually when I'm formatting this description, I'll have different sections where it says customer reviews, and that's where I paste all my reviews. And then I'll have a section for descriptions. And then I also will look at ads for these products to get some benefit ideas as well. And after doing that for about 10 minutes, as you can see right here, we have some decent lines for our descriptions. So dress your watch up today. Then when we're scrolling down, we have all of these great reviews that we're going to turn into our description. And then finally, I like to list out the main benefits. So mix and match with different outfits. What are the main problems? Oh, some watch straps are not adjustable. That was actually a common thing I saw, that a lot of girls have tiny wrists and these watches don't fit them. They're just hanging loose. And then finally, I like to get some headline ideas in. So give your boring Apple Watch a touch of luxury, I feel like is going to be the main benefit of this product. Now, when it comes to formatting the product description for problem-solving products, I will always have the main benefit of the product as the first thing people see, because if you don't hook your audience, they're not going to read the rest of the description. So you have to put out that best line. Then after that, I'll talk about the main problem of other options out there on the market. And then I'll aggravate the problem a little bit. Say, hey, These other watches are not adjustable. They irritate your skin. But hey, guess what? With the GlamStrap, it uses great materials. It can transform your watch. Then I'll do the second best benefit of my product. So that could be wear your Apple Watch in style. Oof. I love the sound of that. And then I'll do some more benefits. And I love to sprinkle in little call to actions throughout the description that just give people the, okay, I can go to the next step. So I might say, if you're looking to upgrade your Apple Watch today, get GlamStrap before we sell out. And if you have a non-problem solving product like clothes or necklaces, then you want to keep it shorter and to the point. You're not going to mention anything with problems. So I usually will have a main benefit of product, then I'll have 2 sentences under that. Then I'll have the second main benefit, 2 sentences under that, a call to action, and then we're good to go. And after putting some elbow grease in and really getting our thinking caps on, this is what we came up with. Give your boring Apple Watch a touch of luxury. If we scroll down, we're talking about the problem. We have some jokes in here. We got some personality. And really, this is just because I've been doing this for years. And for you, it might take longer to do because you haven't. But the more you practice, the better your descriptions will come out. And they will look amazing just like this. Now, the next way you can get your competitive edge is making your website a money-making machine. And the best way to do that is having the right apps installed. So if you're a beginner or an expert, I recommend having these apps when you're testing a new store. So first off, you need email marketing. You need to have an abandoned cart sequence so that if someone abandons their cart, you are sending them follow-up emails with discount codes, with reminders that they can check out again from your store. Because if you're not following up with people, then they're gonna forget. So for me, I always set up a 3 email flow in Abandonment Protector, which is $9 a month. So I'll let you see this right here. I got my logo. I got a very basic template. So we notice you're halfway through ordering, but didn't end up completing it. Then boom, we have the product, check out. And now the really cool thing is in the second email, because this is where I give a discount code, because you have to keep in mind, what are the main objections people are going to have? Either they don't trust your website or the price is too high. So I'm eliminating that price objection by giving them a discount code of 15% off right here. So I literally would say, treat yourself to the best, receive an extra 15% off at checkout when you use this discount code. And if you don't know how to create a discount code, let me show you right now. So if you go to the discount code section, you can click create discount in the top right, as you can see right here. Click on normal discount code. Then you just type out whatever your discount code is. I usually will have a bunch of letters and then 2 numbers at the end. And then here we go. 15% off is the percentage, save, and then boom, you got your discount code. And then the next app that gives me a competitive edge is SMS Bump. So this sends abandoned SMS text to my customers that don't finish their purchase. So again, you need to be following up on SMS and email. Now, the next great app I use is UFE. This is for upsells. A lot of people that are dropshipping do not do upsells. And the reason why you want to do this is so that each customer becomes more valuable to you. Because if they buy more stuff, then you can advertise and spend more money to acquire a customer. So with UFE, it's very simple to use. I'll do one right now where I create a funnel. So really, all you want to do is go up to trigger on. Now, I don't want you to get triggered or anything like that. But if you look up the name of your product, like I do right here, select it, then click add a widget. And I'm going to do this so fast that your head explodes. So we're going to scroll on down after clicking add widget, do volume discount, do in page, then we scroll on down to continue. Now from here, I add 2 offer rows. Sometimes I'll do 3 depending on the product. So for this, let's do a minimum quantity of 2, 3, and 4. And then the discount will be 15, 20% off. Then we'll do most popular as 2. Then we want to edit the language a little bit. So for the widget, we can go to widget settings, go to translation, and then this is going to be the title. So I always do buy more, comma, then save more, and then exclamation. Sorry for my horrible typing. And then for branding purposes, I'm going to make sure the color is the same as the gold that we use on our logo. So we go to design, then if we scroll on down to checkout button, make sure it's your color, click on save, and then boom, you got a nice looking upsell 2, 3, 4. Let's click on save and publish, and that's going to appear on our product page. Now the next app that gives me a competitive advantage is Ultimate Sticky Ads Card. It's got a cool little polar bear on it, so that's how you know it's a great app. But basically, it makes sure that there's always an add to cart button no matter where your customer is on your page. So if they're scrolling down, they're at the bottom of the page looking at reviews, they still have an add to cart button that they can easily click. And again, if you lower the amount of friction that it takes for someone to go to the next step, then you are much more likely to get the sale. So these are the settings I like. So after they click the button, it goes straight to checkout, show on both desktop and mobile. Scrolling on down, these are the desktop settings I like. So I like to keep it pretty centered, bar position on the bottom. I like to show compare at price. Button color is the gold that we are using currently. And then if we scroll on down, I like to do 3 hours for the countdown timer. So this actually has a cool countdown timer on it. And then again, you can take a look at the rest. I don't like to have an animation, so I'm actually gonna turn that off. We're gonna click on save. And then again, you also wanna set this up for mobile. So if we click on here, just make sure you have the same exact settings. And I also like to do the pill shape, and then you're ready to go. Now, by far, the app that gives me the biggest competitive advantage is PageFly, because this allows you to create the product page and homepage of your dreams, regardless of the theme you're using. Now, it will take a couple of days for you to learn this, especially if you're a beginner, but I have a full 2-hour tutorial that breaks down everything that I've done to learn the app. So if you want to learn it in a few hours, watch that video and come back to this. Now, PageFly has a lot of great templates that you can use to customize your home and product pages. So if I was to show you one right now, let's filter this by homepage. We can scroll on down. Now, I believe there's one I really like, and it's for a bikini brand. Now, it's not because there's hot girls or anything like that, but that might have influenced my decision a little. And this is exactly what it looks like. So if you understand how to customize text, how to customize different sections as well, it will look very good. Oh my goodness. And that template has now been turned into a GlamStrap beautiful homepage where we got different images, we got different reviews, and we have call to actions that go straight to our product page. So right now I'm hiding the product details. This is a very important part when you're doing your product pages on PageFly so that you don't have two descriptions showing up. But right here, this is how I format all of my product pages. So I'll have the product images to the left. So if you can find a theme that has the images to the left and then all the information here with the price, a giant buy now button. That's the cool thing about PageFly. With a lot of themes, they have very small, minuscule buttons that are really easy to miss. So with PageFly, you can create these large pill-like buttons, and you can also have countdown timers for urgency, telling people that the sale does not last forever. Then the next thing I like to have under this is shipping times. I like to be transparent, and if you're looking for a standard sort of text to use, as you can see right here, standard international shipping, 8 to 20 days. This has worked for me. I have scaled brands past 6 figures with this exact wording, so you can copy that step by step. Then I also like to have my better than risk-free guarantees. So if you receive your GlamStrap within 30 days and you don't like it, you can get your money back. Now, since 95% of your traffic is going to come from mobile, you have to make sure to optimize for that device. So as you can see right here, we have the mobile view on. Let's scroll down so it looks good. Everything is very legible. I usually will use 18-point font for a lot of things. For headlines, these are usually between 40 to 50 point. And as we can see right here, we got a great GIF showing out the product. We got some easy, legible text, very spaced out descriptions with photos in between the different paragraphs, so it's not too much text in a row. Then we have our call to action. Now I actually need to fix this because we have 40% off. And then when we scroll on down, we're gonna have why shop from me. Then we're gonna have some reviews. And then finally we have a frequently asked questions. And then finally, you're gonna need some third-party social proof so that people trust your website and wanna buy from you. So I use Luke's for this, and the different settings I have right here, as you can see, I'll just scroll on down. 28 days, we send an email. Scrolling down, I don't think there's anything important here, but let's go to display reviews. And for this, I make sure we have the yellow star color going on. Then you have to make sure, if we scroll on down here, that you have this integrated with the theme that you're using. So click on integrate Luke's, and you should be good to go. Then from here, you're gonna go to import reviews. You're gonna drag this little import to Luke's button all the way up to your bookmarks. Then open up the supplier page on AliExpress, click this import to Luke's button. Then we are gonna look up GlamStrap right here. Then we can import 20 reviews if you're on the basic $9.99 a month plan, which is totally fine. Then from here, we're gonna do all ratings. That's totally fine with me. Usually I wanna have reviews with photos. So preview and import, as you can see right here, we can do without text. I mean, this is not a really great image, so probably don't wanna use that. Let's see here. Yep, we got the strap. Looks good. So we click import if you want these reviews. Now, personally though, for me, this is good on its own, but I like to take it a step further. So whenever I'm testing a product for my own brand or for one of my clients at Blue Ocean Digital, we always will write 8 to 12 custom reviews. Now, with these reviews, we will always have a photo and then a review that talks about the main benefits of the product. So saying, hey, I love this product. I've had an Apple Watch for 3 years. Then usually we'll mention the name of the brand and also how the shipping was very fast. So right here, as you can see, this is from GlamStrap. So again, mentioning the name of the brand that has added trust when you do that. Then overall, it's a great product. I love it. So again, scrolling on down, these are all very detailed. These are way better than the AliExpress BS reviews that are like good product and fast shipping. Like, those reviews do not communicate trust whatsoever. So I do like to write my own. As you can see right here, I've had this watch band from GlamStrap for a while now. Then again, some of these will talk about shipping times as well. Now, the next step is you need to have some pages on your website for different policies, for tracking your order, stuff like that. So I usually will have terms of service, privacy policy, refund policy, and you can get all of these if you go into your settings, then scroll on down to policies, and you can easily generate these from the template that Shopify gives you. So as you can see, refund policy, I just clicked on the template button and we scroll on down. You got all of these different options that all you have to do is click on copy them. Then we go back to our online store and pages. We paste them right here. And then for this is going to be our TOS, terms of service. So you click on save, and that's how you create a page. Now the contact us page is a little bit different than the other pages. So I usually have this little wording right here for any questions regarding our products. Please email us your inquiry. Now for this page on the right side, you need to make sure this says contact, not default page, because when you have it like this, it automatically generates a contact form for people to fill, just like this. And then for track your order, I do have some custom coding. So if you want this code, make sure to comment under this video, because yeah, this is something that we have worked on. It looks very professional. But if you're looking for an alternative, you can just have this link right here in your track your order section. It can literally just be, please enter your tracking number below. Then you have this link, it sends them to this page right here, and then boom, they put in their tracking number and they'll know where their package is. And then when it comes to menus, you can access this page by going to online store, then navigation. So for the footer menu, I have all of my different policies, cancel order, privacy policy, refund policy, and make sure you have privacy policy listed on your website or TikTok won't approve your ads. So this is very important to have all of these. Then for the main menu, I like to have home, then shop my main product. Now, if you're wondering how to create that, all you have to do is click add menu item. Then we go to products, type in the product or find the product right here. Then what we can do is click on shop GlamStrap. That way we can add the menu item. We can drag it on up and then boom. Now for contact us, all I did is I have a link to my contact us page. So I just go here, click on pages, contact us, apply changes, save. And now you got your menus. Now every theme is gonna look different on the way that you customize it. So for me, I need to make sure I add my logo and change a few colors around. So when we're going to the header, this is usually where you can add that logo that you made. So I'm gonna click on remove image. I'm gonna upload the amazing logo I've already made. So let me do that right now. Bada bing, bada boom, that is looking absolutely sexy as a mug. Now, when we're scrolling, I'm gonna go onto, let's actually see the home page. So it's looking pretty good. I don't think there's anything that we really need to change up. Now for the menus, this is my footer. This is how I personally like to format it. So I have the footer, main menu, then a little need help section. This is actually pretty easy to make. So on my theme, all you have to do is click on add a block. Then you can click on rich text. So this is just rich text right here. So I have a little section that says need help. I'll have some contact details like a support email, a phone number, something along those lines. You can just do a support email. And again, it just builds the trust. So for me, I'm actually going to do support at myglamstraps.com because that is going to be the URL I buy. Then hopping over to theme settings and colors, we got to change these buttons up. They ain't looking that good. So what I'm going to do, buttons, then background, we're going to copy our color code if it lets me, and then bada bing, bada boom, that gold is looking absolutely divine. Now with this theme, as you can see in the top right, I do like to do a discount code because I notice around 30 to 40% of people, when they get to the checkout page and they see that discount code section, they feel empty-handed when they don't have a code readily available. So I like to give them one just so they can use it. So that's looking good. Let's take a look at our product page. So we scroll on down, buttons are looking good. Everything is customized. Oh my goodness, this is professional level. We have our competitive edge, but the final thing we need to do is go to our checkout page and customize that as well. So right here on this store, I have an old logo for Crystal Glow. And if you haven't checked out that video, that's from my 24-hour dropshipping challenge. So again, the link is over here where I create 3 stores live and you can take a look at the results from all of that. But changing our image, let's go GlamStrap right here. Then we have to change the button colors from black to the gold that we've been using up. And then we're gonna go here, buttons, click on that gold. And it's gonna take a second because I have a computer from 1995. But once we do that, it is looking nice and professional. And then the final thing I want to talk about is then payment methods and checkout. So for payment methods, I always will use Shopify payments in the beginning, and also I will have PayPal installed. So If you don't have a PayPal business account, I would recommend getting that because you need PayPal. Usually around 30 to 40% of people will pay through that method. And then of course you need something that processes credit cards. And I understand if you live in a foreign country, it might be difficult to get these. So look at the different options that you have available to you. I get that in a lot of cases you have to get an LLC or some sort of business license, but it is worth the wait. You need to have 2 different methods of payment if you are going to start a legitimate profitable business. And then for checkout settings, this is what I like to do. Accounts are optional. I like to do receive shipping updates, turn those both on, of course. Then tipping. Yeah, I mean, I want to make a little bit extra money. I want to get a good tip in. Then scrolling on down, yep, enable address auto completion. Email marketing, I do want to turn this option on. SMS on. Now, this is usually going to be checked on from Shopify, but if you already have abandoned cart email set up, you don't need to have both of those going on. Then the final thing is shipping and delivery. Now for shipping and delivery, to make it easy for you, you can create one shipping zone that has all the countries you'll be advertising to. And then I show them these 3 options. I'll have a free shipping option, priority insured shipping with all this text, and then 1-year warranty. Now, if you're wondering how to create this, you click on add rate, and this is where you'll type it all out. So we do free shipping. The price would be $0. Then you click on done, and then boom, you got your free shipping. Now, if you wanted to do priority insured shipping, just do this, priority insured shipping, click on the price of $2.99, or usually what 10% of your average order value is. Then you just click done, and then boom, you save it all, and those will be the shipping options that your customers see. And then the final thing is you obviously got to connect that domain. So you can buy a domain through Shopify, and it's really easy to do, or through GoDaddy, and you usually save about $2, which is pretty good in my books. Then once you add this domain, you're going to click on the one that you've uploaded. So for me, my GlamStraps, click on save, and that is going to be my primary domain. Make sure that you do have the redirection enabled so that actually all the traffic goes to this domain. All right, everyone, let's get into ads. This is my favorite part. I absolutely love talking about ads. That's why I started a freaking ad agency. But the thing is, when you're a beginner and you're trying to create your own ads, a lot of times they're gonna suck. And trust me, this comes from a guy who's mentored over thousands of students. So a lot of times I would recommend the way that you can get your edge over your competition is going to a service like Viral Ecom Ads. So Viral Ecom Ads is a team of editors that sources clips from all over the internet to come up with an amazingly professional ad that dominates and beats your competition every single time. So they have an amazing $50 option that you can get right here to create 3 different ads for your product. And you can also save 20% off when you use the discount code in my description. So again, if you're a beginner, you've never made ads before, do not waste your money on a poorly made ad. Just let the professionals handle it and you will make sales. However, if you want to be a vigilante, you want to be a rebel, and you want to create your own ads, I understand where you're coming from, brother. So what you're going to do is hop onto TikTok, and you're going to get some amazing clips from your product right here. Now, if you can't find any clips, usually I would not sell that product. So when I look up Apple Watch Strap, you can see right here, I got a bunch of different clips that I can use for my own ad. And the reason why we get clips from TikTok is because it's native to the platform. If you try to take clips from Facebook or YouTube, I just personally noticed they don't suit the platform very well. So I tend to do all my research right here when I'm testing products and I'm not making my own content. Now I have a whole entire video dedicated to how to make TikTok ads that convert, but just really briefly covering that right now. The framework I like to follow is a hook, a demonstration of the product, having some social proof, and then a call to action. So your hook is the most important part of the ad. That's the problem. That's the opportunity. That's the biggest thing that you think will grab the attention of your customer, because if the hook sucks, they're not going to watch the rest of the ad. The demo is usually 2 to 3 clips of people showcasing the product, showing it in action, how they can actually improve their life with it, the transformation. Then social proof. You need to have a section where either an influencer is raving about, oh my God, this watch strap is amazing. It matches all my different outfits and I can wear it all the time. Or you can have social proof that is literally just a normal clip, and then you have text that says loved by thousands of target audience. Then finally, you need a call to action. And for the call to action, that's the last screen of your ad. And I usually will have a benefit. I'll have some urgency and a URL. So I'll say, upgrade your watch today, 40% off sale ends soon. URL, myglamstraps.com. And that will make a huge difference in the performance of your ads, because you need to tell people what to do next after watching the ad. Now, when it comes to text, I don't like to do more than 6 words because then it gets a little bit crowded. And I also like to have the voiceover narrator reading over each benefit because I just noticed that performs better than when it's just text on the screen and there's no one reading. Then the next thing I like to keep in mind is show the product or your logo in the first 3 seconds. Do not tease people and show the product after 8 seconds because they're just gonna get bored and they're gonna wonder, what the hell is this video even for? The next thing is music. It has to be matching the pace of your ad. If you have a fast-paced ad, you need fast-paced music. If it's a slow, sleepy time product, then you're gonna need some slow, lazy music. And then also ad copies don't matter at all, so we'll get into that. I usually will just do name a product, shop now. So I've gathered the best clips onto my video editing platform. So we're gonna make 2 ads for GlamStraps. And what I typically do when I have all these clips is I'm trying to cut out the fat. So if we're trying to edit this clip right here, as we can see, it's about 11 seconds. It's pretty decent. And I would say I'm trying to get those 3 to 4 seconds. And I would say if I'm editing this one in specific, I want the text to disappear. So right here, we can do a cut. Then we let it roll. She's showcasing the product. And then it cuts away. So if we move that back, we can cut. And that's a good 3 to 4 second clip right there that we got from that. And after doing that process with each video, I have about 5 to 6 clips that are all 3 to 4 seconds long, which is great. So I'll show one right here. It has a model wearing the product. She's showcasing it. It looks very, very nice. So that's how each clip is formatted. And usually what I'm going to do is try to figure out what's going to be the hook, which is got to be the most interesting clip. Then I'm also going to add my logo in the top left, as you can see right here. It might be a little bit difficult, but I think I have my ad. It's about 20 seconds long. We got our opening hook. Now, I don't write any of the text in my own editor. I do this inside of TikTok. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the ad I just made here, send it over to my phone, upload it onto TikTok, and that's where we're going to add the voiceover narrator and the different text benefits. All right, everyone, so I've uploaded this ad onto TikTok, and what I'm gonna do is basically just add text, and I see that I've already done it, but just to give you an example, add a touch of luxury to your Apple Watch. And then what I like to do for the text color is I like to do this black outline. That is just what works the best. And then to do the voiceover, you click that little person icon. So looking at the ad, this is how it reads.
Add a touch of luxury to your Apple Watch.
Oh, that sounds great.
Give your Apple Watch an expensive look.
Oof. So I have a script of different benefits I'm doing. So give your Apple Watch an expensive look. That just seemed like a great benefit. Then we have the perfect look for casual or formal events. That also just sounds great. Next, we're getting into it. I believe I have like some social proof. So wear your Apple Watch with style. The social proof I said was loved by thousands of gorgeous women. I'm complimenting my audience. But the final thing I need to do is I need to add some good music. And now you can pray to the TikTok gods as you launch your campaign after all your hard work. Now, if you don't know how to set up a TikTok account onto your Shopify store, or if you're looking for some low budget strategies, I have videos on both of those that you can click right here that explain everything. I'm not gonna do that in this video, but let's set up our campaign right now. So I'm always doing conversions, and then when we scroll on down to campaign name, we're gonna obviously do the GlamStrap. That BEP, break even point, is $19. So if we spend $19 to acquire a customer, we don't lose or we don't make any money. Now, when we're going to website, we have to make sure we're obviously selecting the right pixel. We only have one pixel, so it's pretty hard to get it wrong in that case. Then we're gonna select complete payment. Scrolling on down, select placement. We want TikTok only. I don't want any of this other alternative BS. Scrolling down, user comment off. I mean, they're gonna give you this little warning. You know what? Be a rebel. Screw TikTok. Scrolling down. Then when we go to location, United States is what I personally like to do. This is definitely a female oriented product, so I'm going to do female. And then for ages, I do not like to market to teenagers because they don't got any money. Then when we scroll on down to interest. Now, this is up to you. Sometimes I'll do an interest and then a behavior. If you watch my videos, I'll explain that. But I think for this product, I will do a mix. So I wonder if watch is an option here. So if we go here, we have watches, watch. I wonder if tech is also something we can do. Tech and electronics. So I'm going to go, ooh, wearable tech devices. That is perfect. I think that's going to work really well. So that will just be the one interest we try. The audience size is 50 million, so that's pretty good. Scrolling on down, targeting expansion, we're gonna leave off. For daily budget, I'm gonna do $20 like that, and then we're gonna leave this to publish at midnight. So the way you can do that, click the little clock icon, we're gonna select the next day, and then we're gonna make sure this is 0, 0. So just like this, okay, okay, and let's go to our ads. So I uploaded both of my ads, and the way you can do that is go to single video, and then it should give you the option, yep, right here, update, and then you can upload from your computer the ads that you've already made. Now, when it comes to ad copies, I keep it very simple. Name a product, then shop now, nothing too crazy. Scrolling on down, for custom identity, this is where you put the name of your business and then your logo. So to create this, create a new custom identity, we would do GlamStrap. Upload the logo right here, super easy. I've already done it, so I don't need to. Then scrolling on down, the final thing, you want to make sure you have website as the destination. I like to do standard, shop now, then upload the URL of your product page, not your home page, not your collection page, not your friend's website, your product page. And then after you do that, click on submit. And now you got your campaign, and we have to add the rest of our ad. And just like that, we have our 5 different ad groups, each at $20 a day. As you can see, they have some different interests. Some of them have behaviors, some of them have none at all. But the final thing we need to do is we need to make a view content sacrifice campaign. Now, the way to do this is we're just gonna click on copy. And if you're wondering how to make different ad groups, you can just click on copy, make a bunch of different copies in the same campaign. And that's how I did that with these 5 ad groups. But for our new view content campaign, I'm gonna make a new campaign. I'm gonna label it VC for view content. And the reason why we have this is that TikTok tends to not spend if you don't have this campaign. I just noticed when you do one campaign with complete payment, sometimes TikTok just glitches out. It's still a little baby. It's figuring out how to be a little more consistent. But for the meantime, this seems to be the most consistent way to guarantee that your campaigns actually spend. So what you're gonna do, click on view content, click on next, have your 2 ads in there. This is just one of my ad groups as an example. You just need to do one ad group into this campaign, click submit, and boom, you're done. TikTok ads published, website done, product found. I'll see you in a bit when we get these results. It's been 24 hours, and checking out the results, we've made 1 sale on our brand new store. Oh my God. But hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And looking at the actual results, they're not that bad. 12 add to carts and nearly a 5% add to cart ratio means we have a pretty decent offer. I'm sure if we lowered the price a little bit, maybe had some more urgency, we would have picked up a few more sales. And then looking at the TikTok ad numbers here, we can see our purchase campaign has spent the full $100. We are gonna turn this off because I don't want to burn any more money. But taking a look at the numbers, our cost per click is under 50 cents, which is pretty good. I do try to aim for 20 cents or less. Then when we go to add to carts, I mean, 12 add to carts is pretty decent. We just did not get lucky with the purchases today. People were a little more stingier on Thursdays. But in order to find a winning product, we just have to move on from this, keep on testing with a high level in mind, and then with the right product and offer, we will have success. So if you want my team to do this exact process for you and test 5 to 6 new products every single month until you find a winner, you can book a call down below and leave a like if you enjoyed this video.